looks like an evening.
Can you get that as well?
Salt rock.
Oh.
Find the exact jacket he wears. Red jacket.
No, what you do, you go on safari, you search up.
Okay, I lied slightly. This is not your how-to guide to get the perfect idea. On my part, that's impossible. I don't know how you play, you work, you learn, or go about your daily life. But what I can tell you is how to change your current mindset of writer's block in order to get, hopefully, a new perception on everyday things and therefore draw a new idea. So let's begin with a few practices that I tend to do whenever I need a new idea. Start by changing the way you view things, quite literally. Imagine your life as a film or a book, whether it be at school or work or just walking around in your everyday life. Often having a visualized image of a scene or a particular place can inspire your imagination to think, well, what happened before here? Why is everything so noisy or so quiet? These kind of questions can be prompted whenever you look at something perhaps in a new way that's quite normal to you. Look at certain buildings like a shot from a film or household objects close up, looking at the little markings they may have on them or imagining the story they might have had. One of my favourite directors, David Fincher, often has the camera quite literally move with the actors. Try taking a look at the way certain people move and interact with other things in their life. As weird as that may sound, one oddity you may notice could prompt a question like, why did they do that? What were their motives behind that? And from that, you can draw a character, a shady one or a happy, light-hearted one. And from that, you can strand together the beginnings of a story.
Archie, 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 Archie. Listen!
Change the way you listen to things. In specifics, dialogue. The idiolect some people possess can result in them saying some words with perhaps more velocity or punchiness than others. Why could that be? And what character can you draw from that? Certain people have certain elements to the way they speak that can cause you to think, where do they come from? How did they get here? And what's the story behind it? The jargon some people possess in everyday life can stand out from the crowd, and it's often those characters that feature as the main role in stories. So keep an ear out.
Okay, run.
Read, watch, walk. Often some of the best ideas come from borrowing elements of others, so go ahead and read something your friend may have read recently. Imagine a certain scene from a book and how could you adapt that and change it in order to become something of a film? Or the reverse, watch lots of media text like films or TV and note the way certain characters interact with others, or how certain narratives unfold. How could you do that differently or draw inspiration from it? And finally, my favourite, go for a walk. Whether you live in the most rural of Alaska or the busiest of New York City, there is always something to see, be it boring or interesting. If it is boring, how could you make it exciting? Note how certain things along your walk are shaped, be it trees, buildings, cars. What could you do with that object or thing to make it stand out from the rest of the scene? Take a camera or your phone with you and start taking pictures of things you find unique or interesting. Start experimenting with them with film-like movements, moving your camera around something in a cinematic or omniscient way. What I like to do with a camera like the one I'm recording this video on is hold it up by the viewfinder and just move around an object in a unique way. Now this doesn't attach itself to a story immediately, but what can that specific shot or angle tell you about a scene? What are the emotions behind it and what intentions does that angle give about the scene? Might seem silly at first, but when you get used to seeing things in a new light, you can start drawing inspiration from anything, whether it be a light source to a frying pan to anything. There's always a story to be told about anything, so go out there. Right now, stop this video, go out and take a look at a book, a film, or anything in your everyday life and imagine, what does it look like to someone else? What are the intentions or the motives behind it? And why should I tell its story? Because there's stories all around you to be told. All you need to do is look, listen, and eventually from it, learn. My name's Thomas Sinkinson, And that's how you get an idea.